When you live in a toxic environment, and you never know if today someone will approach you with a smile or with a new barrage of complaints and yelling. So when finally you break free as an adult, you realize that you are still living in a cage of this mental abuse. Only this time, this cage is created by your own subconscious, which has gotten so used to this form of mental abuse that you literally start abusing yourself. So this is exactly what happened to me, because the questions that were chasing me as a teenager were, are you good enough? What does he think of you today? And stuff like that. So everything came from my stepfather. And people say that people don't change, but I can say that it's not true. People do change, and my stepfather, he has changed a lot. So today we have like really great relationship, and I have no insults toward him. I also understand that back then he was going through his own traumatic, post-traumatic experience lessons. So I can call it like this, and I can understand him. But so the fact remains, everything that happened to me when I was a teenager had such a massive impact on my adulthood. So probably you do not understand how the second part of the title, like why I texted him again, is actually related to this topic. But trust me, it makes a lot of sense. And moreover, I really hope that this situation is the beginning of my healing process. Also, what I want to say is that this phase of self-abuse, of mental self-abuse, right, began to me about 3 years ago. And before, I was dealing with the lessons, right, if you can call them that, from my previous traumas. You can say like, oh, come on, this girl just keeps talking about traumas, but trust me, some people somehow they really experience much more emotional pain, stress. Some people experience also some physical pain, and yeah, so after all, they have to deal with the results of that experience. So unfortunately, I'm exactly that person, and having all of that inside, I couldn't find better way rather just sharing that with you guys, because at least maybe it will be helpful for someone. I'm pretty sure there are plenty people who are also carrying all of that inside, and somehow we have to find the way to let it go. We can't live just in the endless suffering. So if you want to know about my previous traumas, about my previous lessons, all of them, they are related to the male figures. So the first part of my childhood was centered around my father, and about that you can check out my first video. That video is exactly about this, and now it's more about my stepfather, because I've noticed that the everything that I'm going through um, goes just in the same order as I experienced that when I was a child or a teenager. So somehow the major crisis with my stepfather happened just at the same time when my father died. And I got the abandonment trauma because of my father, because I didn't feel like I have this source of protection anymore. And also, I was mentally abused by my stepfather at the same time. So, and I feel that now this is exactly that period in my life when I have to experience all of that emotional pain again. And that's what I'm doing right now. I am attracting exactly everyone who can help me to suffer over and over again. Before I will start talking about the mental part, I wanted to notice one important thing, that in my case, this self-abuse also manifests physically. I'm talking about this because maybe a lot of girls are doing the same without even noticing that, and without even realizing that these bad habits are actually coming from the inside. So I have a habit of finding some imperfections in myself and then punishing myself for them. Like, for example, oh my god, it sounds just awful, but pretty often, actually, almost every evening, I just stare at my face up close with the bright light, trying to find some more, tiny spots, and then yeah, just just pushing at those tiny spots before they start bleeding. I do the same with my shoulders. By the way, if there are some mistakes, I do apologize for them. I'm not an English native speaker, but I think that you can understand, and that's the most important thing. So I do the same with my shoulders, with my chest, arms, legs, and I have like spots all over my body. I also do that with my hair, like constantly checking my split ends and then just breaking them off. Now I understand that for me it's like a form of calming myself when I feel that anxiety inside. I do not let it go, because like I'm not crying that much or going and complaining to someone. I also can't just start doing something that makes sense. But the only thing that I want to do is like do that with my face or with my hair, and I'm pretty sure that many girls can understand that. So what I started to do to help myself, I started to buy like really expensive self-care cosmetics. So I hope that investing some money I will feel like guilty if I will continue abusing my face, like my skin. So far, it helps actually, because the situation got a little bit better. So, since I grew up constantly wondering and guessing what someone thought of me, like someone, particularly my stepfather, I used to having no clarity or stability in my life. So now I just attract people who make me do this. Guess, analyze, second guess myself. If I'm good enough, if what does he think of me, and all of those things. As you understand, it is completely dysfunctional, because in a healthy relationship, everything is gonna be clear. But I'm not healed yet, so I've never experienced a healthy relationship. But the only thing that I know for sure, that everything is supposed to be clear. So I have drawn always to men that were actually attracted, not were, who are actually attracted to a completely different type of women. So for me, there is no chance to win over. And not because there is something wrong with me, like I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not smart enough, or like anything else. It's just because I choose men who are attracted to another type of women. I'm not hot, like in that sense, like wild, and I don't know, like used to cope with my emotional pain by partying, and like constantly spending my time with endless friends and endless blah blahs. No, like I used to cope with my emotional pain with solitude, self-reflection, self-discipline. So I'm not saying that it's bad, but as you understand, me and the girls, we are competing in just different fields. But I understand that subconsciously I attract men, because subconsciously, again, I want to relieve that cycle of wandering and guessing again and again, like, oh, will he text me again? Oh, what does he think of me? Oh, if he is interested in me, and all of those things. So, do I understand that this cycle is just completely unhealthy? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Is it easy to break that cycle? No, not at all. And realizing at least that you are in this cycle of unhealthy repetitions, it is the first step towards healing. So the another thing that I do for abusing myself, it's not only that I choose the wrong man, but it is also, so you see, right? I became used to having no clarity and emotional stability in my life, right? So if you meet a man and everything is just not that clear, you can just, make it clear by yourself. Ask, like, what do you feel, if we have same feelings for each other and stuff like that. So then you get that clarity, and then you can do something with that, right? But then everything would be just way too easy, right? How can you go through that whole cycle? How can you suffer for a long time if you do that? You can't. So for that, I became a person, again, it's not like in purpose, but I am that type of woman that for me it's extremely hard to make things clear. Like, I'm really bad at showing my emotions if I don't see like the first steps from a man. So I really can act just like a friend for a long time, and just wait for him to do something, to tell me what he feels, or to text me, to invite me somewhere. And I really can spend like months waiting for that without asking, like, maybe let's talk about this, or I am actually feeling this for you. No, I pretend to be a woman that doesn't give a shit, and has lots of things to do, so I have no time to think of you. And I know that it sounds stupid, but somehow you got so scared of being refused that you just don't want, you just want to experience that one more time. So it's better to stay in that mood, when you are just building illusions in your head, uh, scenarios that will never happen, but at least people from outside, they think that you don't care. This is the form of self-abuse. Even though you think that you carry on with your life, with your own stuff, a huge amount of your energy was being wasted toward a guy or someone else who even doesn't think of you at all. And sometimes it is really hard to just stop, to just stop wondering, stop guessing, stop analyzing. So, but you have to stop it. How? So here is what I realized. You can't just erase your trauma, and you can't just get rid of it. But your trauma dictates you, dictates those actions that keep that unhealthy pattern going and going again and again. While you can't change your trauma itself, right? You can actually change your actions, right? Your actions is the result of your trauma. Trauma can't be changed, can't be removed. Actions, you can control them, even though it's really hard, especially when your actions, are coming exactly from traumas, from those like unhealthy beliefs or whatever got inside your subconscious when you were young. It is extremely hard to stop repeating the same actions, but it is possible. 100% it is possible. It's like you wake up every morning and you have a cup of coffee. You can wake up one morning and make a cup of tea, even though you like that coffee so much, but it is possible, you know. So the same is here. If you will just break that cycle, if you will just disrupt that pattern, so step by step, you will start the process of healing. And not because the trauma will be gone, you know, but you will have no results of that trauma anymore in your life. Like, for example, what I did, right? When I found myself liking a guy, in the beginning, I just did what I usually do, okay? I didn't text him, I just waited for him to text me and to make it clear, like, what he feels for me. Because, like, everything was pretty nice between us, and then he just disappeared. And yes, I understand that many people will say, like, come on, the guy didn't text you in 3 weeks. What is not clear about his feelings here? But the girls with the same issue, I think, will understand me. This endless what ifs. What if he's just shy? What if he thinks I'm too good for him? What if I was just too distant? So maybe I have to just like make it a little bit more clear for him. Just leave a comment down below if you are the same, to see that we are not alone. We can be smart, we can have like two master's degrees, but we will still do the silly, even not silly, but like completely stupid things, creating those illusions. By the way, do you know that this is your left hemisphere who creates those ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous illusions, which have nothing with the reality? So it's pretty important, you know, to catch yourself creating those illusions in your head, and just stop yourself, understanding that it's not you. It just you know, it's coming to maybe at some point to make that pain not be that strong, you know, because those illusions and hopes that we have, they help us to cope with emotional pain, of course, but they are leading us to nowhere. So sometimes it's better to be honest with yourself and suffer a little bit more, but at least, you know, you will not get stuck in that cycle for a long time. But well, yeah, again, what I did, I decided to text him, to somehow to let him know what I feel, and to see if he feels the same or not. And honestly, I didn't have any idea about how I will do that, because I just knew that I'm that person. If we are spending time together, I can't just start openly like talking about my feelings or like touching you or whatever. But what I knew before our meeting, because yeah, I texted him, I suggested to hang out, and so he agreed. The only thing that I knew for sure, that I have that intention to make it clear, because I wanted to break that cycle of me wondering, creating illusions in my head, you know, guessing, analyzing, and stuff like that. I wanted to break the cycle where I am just wasting my energy. So I decided that, okay, if I have that intention to make it clear, I will not make any plans about how that will happen, but somehow it will happen. I decided that the universe will help me. Yes, and it helped me. It helped me a lot because during our meeting that was just 2 days ago, this kind of shocking situation happened that forced us to clarify our feelings for each other. I still can't believe that happened the way it happened. And about that, I will make another video. The next video will be about this meeting exactly, because it just deserves its own spotlight. I'm telling you, there are so many details that I want to share with you guys. So yeah, there is supposed to be another video, and that's why hit the bell to not miss the notification because I promise, yeah, it will be captivating. But what I can definitely say right now is that when you break the cycle of your usual actions, you shorten the duration of your suffering. And also, you reduce its intensity step by step. And if you will keep doing that, so one day your trauma will stop bothering you. Like, for example, my case, right? I used to suffer for months, being obsessed over those men and then creating those illusions, waiting for I don't know what even. But now I just waited 3 weeks and I made everything clear. So you have to replace the old script with the new one, with the totally opposite actions. Then you will see that you are able to reprogram yourself. Of course, it's not that easy. Of course, it doesn't work on a first try. It is like, a fingerprint scanner on your phone. Like, you have to touch it maybe several times, like 3 or 4 times before it's complete. Like, you touch the first time and only a few lines appears, then more and more and more, and then the picture is formed, right? So here it is the same. You try like the first time and you change like several actions, then you change more, and then you see that the whole script has been changed, and you see that you have now totally different feelings, and the most important things for yourself, because you are proud of yourself, because you protected your energy, you protected your boundaries, and you didn't abuse yourself, right? And people, in fact, are just our mirrors. And if they are abusing us, if they are constantly disappearing, it means that we are constantly disappearing from ourselves, right? Trying to escape ourselves. It means that we are abusing ourselves. Whenever you don't like people's attitude towards you, try to see and like really honestly, how do you actually treat yourself? First, emotionally, very important, emotionally. And maybe you will notice that you also do that physically, like me, for example, right? It is essential for you to find exactly the patterns that hurt you, because everyone has different trauma, so different unhealthy patterns. So for example, for me, it's never making things clear, right? not showing my real feelings, not expressing my real feelings, waiting for so long and not. But maybe for someone it's totally the opposite. Maybe for someone is sharing the feelings too quickly, or maybe I don't know, like text too much or whatever, you know. You have to understand that everyone is so different, so you can't just watch videos on YouTube about girls what they were doing, even though maybe it looks a little bit similar to your situation, but you have to analyze your own life, your own situations that were repeated over and over again, your actions, right, that were repeated over and over again and then caused another actions. So I will finish with this topic for today. Yeah, because the another thing that I want to share with you guys is exactly about this meeting, because it is very, very, very important for my healing process. So, as I told you before, I'm going to share this part of my life in my next video, so do not miss that. And if you enjoyed this video, I will appreciate to get a comment or like from you, just, you know, to get some sort of support, because of course it is not easy to talk about your emotional pain, about your personal, very personal situations, right? About your traumas. So yeah, I'll definitely appreciate your support, and thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye.